the main goal was to get that library opened, and with the help of so many people, that happened early in the spring, and it has been remarkable. And that was the thing we talked about last year. Was looking forward to that. It's been used quite a bit. There's a lot of new. Well, I mean, if you ride by, you'll see people walking across the road with books. They've had a lot of programs there too, reading programs, a lot of children programs, and I think Santa was up there the other day, or just Christmas programs. And so I think you'll see a lot of that throughout the year next year too, different workshops. And I also think that the meeting space that they've got up there has been beneficial. We know of some groups that have used it for their different civic organizations that have met over there. One of our own organizations meets over there regularly, the Revive organization, where the old museum used to be. We're going to be doing something kind of neat with that building pretty soon. I don't have all the specifics on it yet, but we're hoping to have that opened up sometime in the summer for some economic development on a very small scale here. But so the library definitely has anchored some movement, and that's what we wanted. So we appreciate all that was involved to get that done. The building beside the library, which is, we call it the old Mexican restaurant. Yeah, we've had a lot of people that have called about that. We don't own the building, but we've been in good communication with the owners of the building. Obviously, they want to see something happen there soon too, either whether it be a tenant or it's to sell the building. And so, yeah, there's been some talk and some interest in that building. And I mean, we feel like the library inspired that, of course. And so I think that'll turn out to be something that we can announce hopefully next year with the help of the owners of the building. And one of the things that we wanted to accomplish this year that we did not get to do is something that we will be doing early in 2026, and that is the improvements to the park. We were awarded some grant money, as you are aware, and so that'll be something that we're going to try to get done fairly early so that it'll be ready for spring. Well, there's existing playground equipment that needs to be repaired for sure. And so we will look at that to see if it can be repaired. If it can, then we'll repair that and add additional playground equipment to it. It will include a new ground, the rubberized mat or mulch, I think they call it. We'll have that out there, and some additional new equipment as well, with just an overhaul of the design. And I'm hoping that we can repair some of the equipment. But definitely we will be adding new equipment as well with this rubberized mat, and we have a swing set already that will be installed over there, and then just a good overall aesthetic improvement as well. Maybe some new tree plantings, and just to really rehab that, make that nice there. We do have picnic shelters over there. We've got grills over there, and the Civic Center and the old former. So the Civic Center is where the old Ivy High School used to be. And then the old cafeteria is still there. We call that our MAC Center. And we regularly rent those out for birthday parties, reunions, dinners, whatever. And so during the spring and summer, and even fall really, when families rent these buildings, the kids will go out and enjoy the playground. And then we have the walking track around the playground. And so all of those things we're hoping to improve and have that good recreational space ready mid-spring, late spring. Some of the growth that we're having is young families with small children. And I think that can be said anywhere. And we've talked about this before. We always thought our growth would center around retired people moving in this area because of the lakes and the rural area. But it's really been opposite of that. I think that, one thing you can say is the housing market here is decent because you could still buy a brand new house, 12 to 1,500 square foot home for $230, whereas in other parts of the county that maybe $100,000 more. So that's attracting, and I hope it stays that way for a while, but that's attracting young families with small children. So yes, having these recreational facilities and the programs like the Ivy Rec, where they can get involved in sports. Some of the other things that sort of go unnoticed is we have a twirling group that meets at the MAC Center. Have an instructor over there for girls to learn how to twirl. And then, over the years, we've had dancing classes here and there, and cheerleading programs. So, and then the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts I know the sports program seems to take center stage, and a lot of times when we talk about the recreation programs, but these groups also meet, and I think that they will continue to grow as the town grows. And so yeah, the demand is there, and I think it'll stay there for a while. At least I hope it does. I think that the school district in their elementary schools is seeing growth, probably not as much as other parts of the county, but it's definitely projected to grow in this area. And so with that, they've got to make improvements to their elementary schools. And then that it looks like a new middle school is headed this way. And we'll just see how things turn out. But that construction may even start as early as next year. And it's in a good location. And so that is all indicators that this area is going to grow. The high school, I know they've done quite a bit of work on the high school over the last couple of years, updating athletic facilities and the school itself. And so with the elementary schools getting some updates as well, I mean, we applaud the school district for staying on top of that. We had a new event this year. We just had it, Jingle on Main, which was more of a holiday. I mean, we envisioned that to be more of a craft fair. And we've always sort of had a holiday fair in our civic center, but we were limited to the number of vendors that could participate, and then it being indoors has always, I don't want to say hampered it, but it certainly kept it from growing into a bigger event. So this year we had the event outside, and it was sort of like Depot Day, and it was quite an event. Luckily the weather was still warm. It was the weekend before Thanksgiving, so I think that'll be one that we'll keep and have in the books for next year as well, because people seemed to respond and did well. We started out in the spring with our spring festival. We had our summer events.
Memorial Day.
That's right. We had the Memorial Day event, and then we had all of our concerts during the summer and our fall events. And everything was well attended, and everybody had a good time, we think. And I think that 2026 will definitely be a good year to continue that. People like to come to events where there's music, and then we always try to have the bouncy houses and activities for children. But and we appreciate the support we get from the people who come out. I mean, there really would be no need of doing it if we didn't have people to come and support it. But the vendors always do well. We always see new people there, which is good, because that indicates that the events are growing and are popular. So I don't know what we'll do new in 2026, but we'll definitely continue with what we've done and try to strengthen those, other than the Jingle on Main that we'll do in November of next year.
Well, I know your tree lighting and your Christmas parade. It didn't rain at your Christmas parade.
No, it was cold and windy, but
yeah,
it was a good trade-off.
It looked like everybody who lives in Ivy was at both of those. I mean, those are events that just draw local folks, not people from driving from other towns. But it looks like everybody.
Well, and yeah, that's something to be said there, because I remember as a kid growing up here, always going to the parade. It's a big deal, and the other events that the town always offered. And it's good to see the local folks come, because I don't think they come to just support. I think they come because they actually enjoy it as well. And then, they support their community. And one thing that we try to do is always have the kids on stage, so that parents and the community can see how talented the kids in this area are. And whether it be, and we have a great relationship with the town of Star. And so their kids up in the Star Elementary course, we always have them down because they're very talented, as well as the kids here from Iva as well. And so it gives them an opportunity to present their talent on stage, and it's always good. And so a lot of parents will show up for that, and then it's just a great time to see everybody and the neighbors and people who are moving in this area get to see what a connected community we are. I think Star and Iva do well together, and so it's the same group, same neighbors, same community.
Looking ahead to the first 3 months of 2026, what's the town and the council and everybody identified as the main goals for the early part of the year?
Well, a couple of things that we've identified, or they've identified, that we're going to try to make sure get carried out is just a good town cleanup project. We've got some organizations that have called us and said we would love to help with an organized effort to help clean the town up. That would consist of possibly helping people who can't necessarily get things moved off their property, and just offering a hand to get that done so that we can see a good cleanup and making sure the streets are clean and all that. So that will be something that we'll try to get going fairly soon so that we can have that done by spring. We want to make sure that the park is complete and we have that ready to go. And of course, getting the Dime store, getting that project off the ground and started up. And we've got a couple of housing projects that will be starting and some that will be finishing up. And there is one project where the developers have basically donated a piece of property to the town for us to look into possibly putting a walking trail or maybe another playground. And so that will be available for the entire town. Now, that's not saying that'll be done next year, but we'll at least have that in our land inventory to look at doing something in the future. So, just trying to continue working with developers who are interested in building houses in our area to increase and it's not necessarily building new houses on new lots. We're basically restocking inventory. We've got a lot of dilapidated houses that we've identified that need to come down. We've had a lot of vacant lots where houses once were, where we've put houses back on the lots with the addition of some new houses as well. And hopefully that trend will continue into 2026 and even further than that, where we can add at least 5 to 10 new houses a year, whether that be restocking the inventory of homes that we had or adding some new ones. It's not ever going to be a subdivision with 300 or 400 houses going in, but we're lucky to get 20, and we're excited if we get 20. And so that's something that will definitely stay focused on in 2026. All of those efforts basically lead us to the big project that we want to see done in the next decade, and that is the development of the Jackson Mill property. And so anytime we get a new house, new family move in, that benefits us in attracting right developers and getting the numbers where they need to be so that we can get something moving with that property. And every time we meet, we're a little closer to something, happening there, and that'll definitely be top priority over the next several months and really throughout the next year to continue working on that.
Have y'all had a chance to really evaluate how the new Duke facility down here will impact y'all? I know it's a pretty big investment.
Yeah, it's a big investment, and while it's not inside the town limits of Ava, when you have a project that big, it definitely has an indirect benefit to the town, whether it be employees moving here. It's definitely going to benefit the school district with tax base, which is something that's been needed for a long time because District 3 has sort of been left out of the industrial tax base for the school district. So Duke will definitely be a big taxpayer for the school district, and with that, we're excited because that's good for them. It gives them the money to continue updating their facilities and providing good qualified employees, teachers, and having a good budget for the school district. So yeah, we think that's going to be great, and hopefully we'll see some people that will be working there to move here. And Duke has always been a great partner to work with. We were able to get a grant from Duke Energy that we'll be using at the park along with the PARD grant, and so we're very thankful for the relationship that we have with Duke, and I think that this new plant will definitely, like I said, have indirect benefits here, but will definitely benefit the school district. And that's something that'll start fairly soon. I think everything was approved, and see some stuff going on up there probably within the next 6 months.